Good afternoon. Today I'll be walking you through the Dollar Tree Logistics case study. This analysis focuses on the core cost structure of Dollar Tree's supply chain and the strategic trade-offs involved in expanding distribution center capacity. Exhibit 4 from the case study, it broke down the Dollar Tree's logistics system into 4 main cost categories: inbound transportation, which was 37%, distribution center operations, 28%, outbound transportation, 25%, and inventory carrying costs, which was 10%. Inbound costs reflect Dollar Tree's heavy reliance on imports. 40% of goods were imported in 2004, with 80% of those from China. It also covers both the ocean freight and U.S. trucking from the ports. The distribution center costs include the operating expenses of 9 DCs totaling 5.4 million square feet, each serving roughly 300 stores. 7 were automated, and they typically achieve payback in 2 to 3 years. Continuous improvement and cross-docking were emphasized to reduce handling costs at those DCs as well. Outbound costs capture dedicated third-party trucking fleets paid by round-trip miles and unloading charges. And then inventory carrying costs account for the money tied up in the products that are sitting on the shelves. So how did these components behave as the number of DCs in the system change? Well, adding DCs increases inbound costs because imports must be split and routed to more locations. Also, costs rise due to the fixed costs of the additional facilities. More DCs also drive up inventory carrying costs, since more facilities mean more products on the shelves. However, outbound costs decrease as DCs are positioned closer to the stores that they serve, thereby reducing the average delivery miles. On the other hand, reducing the number of DCs lower inbound and inventory costs, routed to less locations and less products on the shelves, and then it increases the outbound expenses because your DCs are further apart and increases average delivery mileage to get to stores. So how important is economies of scale for DCs? They are critical for the Dollar Tree's distribution centers because a large portion of the DC cost is fixed. The automated facilities require the heavy upfront investment. It takes that 2 to 3 years, but once in place, the small cost of handling additional carton is relatively small. This allows higher volumes to move through the system at much lower unit per cost, which is essential to Dollar Tree's ability to maintain the dollar price point. So why is utilization a key metric in this context? Well, it's a key measure of efficiency because it reflects how well those fixed resources are being used. At moderate levels, around 65 to 70%, costs per carton are minimized. When the DCs are underutilized, equipment and labor are wasted, while overutilization leads to congestion and inefficiency. The one from the case study, Briar Creek, when they were running at 124% utilization, it illustrated how quickly the benefits of scale can reverse when facilities are stretched beyond capacity because of the very expensive was to store. So what other strategy operations should Dollar Tree consider to further decrease supply chain costs? So to further reduce costs, Dollar Tree should focus on transportation improvements, such as optimizing milk runs and exploring fuel-efficient fleet options. Beyond trucking, other operations opportunities could lead into the Six Sigma to minimize waste in the DC processes and also inventory optimization to reduce carrying costs. So which of the two options for the DC capacity expansion do I recommend? I recommend exploring Hartford, Connecticut. I'll show you why. So from my calculations, here is my facility costs and into my outbound transportation. And then my option comparison shows that option 2, building the new DC in Hartford, is a better, more cost-effective. You tell from facility costs, it was actually worse on it. And then transportation is where it made money. It was $7 million cheaper for transportation to go from having 2 locations, one in Hartford and then the one in Pennsylvania. From a qualitative standpoint, utilization is also a concern because under option 1, utilization rises above in the forecasted in Exhibit 11. It's already up there, 64, 75, 85%, where he looks at building a new facility at 74%. So it's also already signaling congestion risks and suggests that another DC would be required within a year of expansion. In contrast, building a new facility now positions Dollar Tree for long-term growth and avoids repeated investments in capacity. So from my sensitivity analysis, I've made data tables. So for facility costs, I looked at different fixed costs, lowering them. It took very low fixed costs to get that to be the better option for option 1. Option 2 was strong throughout the whole process. And then also to get option 1 for facility costs required a lot less cartons going through. And then for transportation, you could make the gas or the dollar a mile a lot lower. Then option 1 was the more cost effective. And then same, if you could almost double how many stores you could stop at on your milk run, option 1 was the better option. So in summary, Dollar Tree's logistics network is shaped by the balance between inbound, DC, outbound, and inventory costs. Based on the cost analysis, building a new DC in Hartford offers a stronger long-term value, primarily due to significant outbound transportation savings and sustainable capacity for growth. Beyond this decision, Dollar Tree can continue driving efficiency by improving transportation strategies, optimizing inventory, and applying Lean Six Sigma practices to minimize waste. Taken together, these steps ensure Dollar Tree can maintain its low-cost advantage while supporting its expanding store base. Thank you.